The good news is Kyle Larson's back in victory lane. The bad news is he's had to take out his teammate to do that. Yo, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop. My name is Jet. Hope you all had a wonderful Sunday. As you can tell, I'm in a different room. That's right, I've moved into my college dorm. Yeah, there's a bit of an echo. Hopefully I'll get that settled in the next few days. Hopefully by next weekend I can get that sorted out. But let's talk about what took place at Watkins Glen and why it's once again a national treasure. But first we gotta talk about what took place between Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. Final restart 5 laps ago. Elliott on the outside, Larson on the inside. Larson locks up the brakes, drives it in hard, pushes Elliott up the racetrack, and then Larson goes by. Allmendinger slides to second. Chase Elliott falls back to 4th or 5th place. Allmendinger was close, but couldn't get it done. Kyle Larson holds on to win at Watkins Glen for his first win since race number 2 at Fontana back in February. That's how long it's been since we've seen the 5-car in victory lane. He led 5 laps, and it was the final 5 laps that mattered most. And now has 13 playoff points to his credit. And this is also the second consecutive win he has earned at Watkins Glen. Remember, he dominated the race last year in 2021. And because Larson is a repeat winner with 1 race to go, Kurt Busch, who was out today as well as he's going to be out next Saturday at Daytona. Since there is a repeat winner, there can be only a max of 16 drivers eligible, meaning Kurt Busch is locked into the playoffs. You see Chase Elliott, his name colored in white and yellow. He clinched the regular season championship, so he earns another 15 playoff points to his already 25, meaning next weekend at Daytona, 1 spot up for grabs. Ryan Blaney, 25 points ahead of Martin Truex Jr. Blaney and Truex are the only 2 drivers that can make it based off points. If we do have a repeat winner, Eric Jones on back, they have to win if they want to make it into the playoffs. So it's really 1 driver fighting for 1 spot against 13 other drivers, because you also have to include the ones that are inside the top 30. But yeah, once again, Larson, I will admit, he did it on purpose. It wasn't on purpose taking out Chase Elliott, but he did have to get into his teammate to get by him. And Chase Elliott's interview was, let's just say, had a bit of sarcasm in it.
Well, he ends up finishing 4th. Kyle says that he's not happy about the way it happened. He also said if he was in your shoes, he would have understood the risk of restarting on the outside there. That was the question that I had for you. Did you consider that risk on the final restart?
Just a huge congratulations to Kyle and everybody on the 5 team. Congratulations to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports for getting another win, and appreciate Kelly Blue Book for being on our car this weekend. He
says this will be discussed, obviously, in competition meetings and between the 2 of you. What would you like to say to him? Congratulations.
He did a great job. Seriously, they deserve it, and looking forward to going to Bristol next week and trying to get with our team.
One of your first conversations was with Mr. Hendrick. Was he able to console you at all on the loss today?
No, just congratulated him. Like I said, always good to see HMS win. The boss deserves all the wins and all the great things that go on with this company. So just proud of that, and looking forward to next week.
Now, I don't know about you, Chase Elliott, but I'm pretty sure Bristol is not for the next 3 races, 3 weeks or so. So next week is Daytona. So if you're going to have that mindset that you're in Bristol, please change that, because we do not need a wreckfest at Daytona next weekend. Please change your mindset. But this is kind of interesting because Larson's past 2 wins have involved Chase Elliott. Go back at Fontana. On the final few laps, Larson in the middle lane battling, I forgot who he was battling with, Chase Elliott with a full run of steam on the outside lane. And then Larson, very late block from his spotter, comes up and just puts Elliott in the wall. Elliott, I think, loses the tire, maybe intentionally spun out to cause a caution. And yeah, it's kind of funny on one side, but it's like, damn, things, listen, Chase Elliott, that was a nice interview he gave. You can tell he was very sarcastic, but I feel like Chase wanted to say more than when he gave. He said a lot more when he was talking to Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon than what he gave on TV. But yeah, I don't think Larson did it on purpose. You can tell he locked up the brakes. He had smoke from his tires as he entered in the corner. So it wasn't like he did it on purpose, but it's just funny that the past 2 wins, you've had to use the same driver Either you put him in the wall or you put him off course. And Chase Elliott, he led, I think, majority of the lap today. He led 30 laps in the 90 lap race today. So I think he led the most laps in this one. He clearly had the fastest car. I think if you look at drivers that could potentially challenge him, it was maybe Larson, but even in the restarts before that, when we get into long green flag run, Larson just couldn't catch up to him. Elliott was even driving away from Larson late in the race on worn tires, or at least on older tires than Larson. So Elliott clearly had the fastest car. And even though he won the regular season championship, we know that don't mean jack shit anymore. So obviously completely understandable why Elliott's upset. But, even though he probably knows it wasn't on purpose, I don't think he cares about that. It's the fact that Larson once again cost him a shot at winning. The race started out very chaotic. Obviously, started out on wet tires. The race was pushed back an hour due to rain. And you started off with drivers gingerly, going around the racetrack, making sure they don't spin out. You had some drivers, though, like Hendrick, locked up the brakes, took out Allmendinger, and Corey LaJoie and Harrison Byrne also spun. You also had some drivers like Larson. I think another driver had to stop on the bus stop because he went past the turn. And then you had some drivers, like I said, with strategy, some electing to go with slicks a lot earlier than scheduled, like Chris Buescher and Chase Briscoe, and would actually play out to their advantage. That caused a great battle near the end between Chase Briscoe and Michael McDowell, who, it looked like to be Watkins Glen to be the race where it was going to be his best shot at winning, since he is such a good road course racer compared to the competition. He had a very strong card here today, led early on in the stage, was a real contender. And yeah, even late in the race in stage 3, McDowell again continued to be a factor. Then you had new drivers like Joey Hand come into the mix, who driving for Rick Ware Racing, who is really good on the road courses, but never had the opportunity to run up front. And when he had the opportunity, he made the most of it, was up front contending, nearly made a 3-wide pass for the lead coming up through the S's with Chase Elliott. This was around the time Chase Elliott started to come to life near around stage 2. But yeah, stage 1, stage 2 were really fun, really entertaining to watch. Stage 3 was not as exciting. It kind of settled down a little bit in terms of on-track racing. But stage 3 was really when Chase Elliott just took over, and it seemed as though he was going to win this race no matter what. And while it was a great day for Hendrick Motorsports, they came home 1-2. It was not a good day for the road course ringers and the international drivers. Kimi Räikkönen making his first NASCAR Cup Series start. He was having a really strong run. He got out there with strategy, but you even had this real cool battle between Chase Elliott and Kimi Räikkönen that I don't know why, but I thought that battle was real good between those two, how they were cleanly jostling for position. But it was awesome to see Kimi, rattle up with those stock car drivers up there in the top 10. And unfortunately, his day came up short. Kind of got Chastained in the bus stop. Chastain got in the grass for some reason, came back up, takes out Austin Dillon. That creates a stack up. Loris Hesmans turns left, right into to Kimi Räikkönen's lane. Räikkönen goes up in the air, comes back down, and goes straight into the tire barriers, ends his day. Daniel Kvyat also had issues. Mike Rockenfeller took out Tyler Reddick also in the bus stop in stage 3. Loris Hesmans got into the gravel late in the stage, which caused that 5-lap to go shootout between Larson and Chase Elliott. But yeah, let's take a look at the results. Like I said, Larson wins. AJ Allmendinger came home in second. I said Hendrick Motorsports came home 1-2. That's not the case. Elliott fell back to 4th after he was pushed out wide by Kyle Larson. Logano finished in 3rd. Logano came on strong late in the stage. He won stage number 2, but it was really near the end of stage 3 where he came to life, showed some real good speed. Daniel Suarez with a quiet 5th place finish. McDowell 6th. Reddick had a very eventful day. I think he missed a chicane at one point, entering the bus stop after a real hard-fought battle near the end of stage number 1. Then, like I said, got taken out by Mike Rockenfeller. Rebounds for a nice 7th place run. Christopher Bell 8th. The only Toyota in the top 19. That is absolutely wild. Christopher Buescher 9th. Eric Jones, really good 10th place run for him. Cole Custer 11th. Kevin Harvick's teammate in 12th. Cindric, I expected Cindric to run better, at least show up more compared to his Ford counterparts like Logano and McDowell. Finishes 13th. Bowman and Stenhouse rounds at the top 15. And then you see some other notables. Once again, Toyota struggling. Hamlin 20th, 21st. Ross Chastain. He was also involved in another incident later in the race between him and Chase Briscoe. Byron 22nd. Truex Jr. 23rd. He just struggled in this race, not surprisingly, given how bad Toyota have been on road courses. Blaney 24th. They're still nose to tail with each other, even if they fall back to the back of the pack. 25th is Chase Briscoe. He had an issue late in the race. He was up on the hood for a little bit. Gibbs 26th, and then Eric Almirola 29th, and then the road course ringers, Rockenfeller from Germany 30th, Joey Hand 31st, Kyle Busch 32nd. Late in the race, he spun by himself in turn number 1 and smacked it into the inside wall, and he had to stay on pit road for a couple more laps to fix repairs. Loris Hesmans from the Netherlands, 33rd. Bubba Wallace, I don't know what issues he had, but he finished 35th, 32 laps down. Russia's Daniel Kvyat, 36th. Finland's Kimi Räikkönen, 37th. Todd Gilliland, 38th. He had a broken axle after he led the first 8 laps in stage number 2, and Kyle Tilley from England in 39th. Now, the thing is with Kimi Räikkönen, he said in his interview, when asked, would he come back? He said, we'll see. He had fun. We'll see. Kimi, I speak for everyone. Please come back. Please. We missed you. We missed you already. We want you back. We want you for more. We got the Charlotte Roval coming up. Well, no, Project 91's not doing the Charlotte Roval, but next year you got COTA. You know, you can go and do COTA. I mean, you've raced on that track before. I'm just saying. We want you back. But yeah, it was overall a great race. I really, really enjoyed it. I give this an 8 out of 10. Stage 3 was a bit of a downer. You know, not as exciting, but still very entertaining race. You gotta get rid of those stage cautions for the road courses. I will never stop stressing that. Get rid of stage cautions for road courses and we'll be Gucci. But other than that, I thought it was a real good race. And boy, am I excited for Daytona. One spot up for grabs between Blaney, Truex that can get in on points. But then, of course, it's such a wild card. Dillon, former 500 champion. Almirola won here in 2014. Bubba Wallace, he's good at super speedways. Keselowski won here in 2016. I mean, there are so many factors at Daytona that's going to make this very fun to watch. But what did you think of the race at Watkins Glen? Did you like it? Did you not? What are your thoughts on Larson and Elliott? You know, what are your thoughts on that deal? And Elliott's interview after the race. Do you think he could give out maybe some payback on his teammate later, run into the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, my name is Jed from MDK. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more content, and congratulations to Kyle Larson, your winner at Watkins Glen.